Alright guys, we're back again. So in our last video we talked about relationships, that is having to do with loving someone beyond what they have, beyond titles. Today we're going to be drawing out grudges and reconciliation. So for that, let's take a look at this scene.
Have you tried to talk to your father?
Lisa, you know he will never agree to see me.
That's not what I asked.
Why should I be the one to ask for an audience? He disowned me. He's as stubborn as a stone leg. Are you really going to make me ask?
Do you mean your grandchildren? They will. They miss tugging your beard, of course.
You needn't make this harder than it already is.
Funny. Keep saying the same thing to him.
Surely Durin knows I spoke in anger.
If that's an apology, I hear King, try saying it to my husband.
Why should it be me who apologizes? It was he who caused offense. I tell you, he did.
Stubborn as a root-bound parsley. One more quality the two of you have in common.
What you call stubbornness. Some dwarves call strength.
Oh, I imagine it does take strength. To carry a grudge so heavy. To keep your wounded heart so tightly bound it can barely beat.
Aye, it does. It truly does.
No wonder we can't hear the mountain. Its king is deaf to the sorrow of his own son.
Still your axe, Disa!
You want to show true strength. Summon your son to you. He'll answer. But leave it to him, and the peaks of Zaraxagil will thaw before this feud of yours will.
So here you see two individuals who have a grudge that hasn't been solved. So the first is Princess Liza's husband, the Prince Durin. He was disowned by his father for something he did. So in his own perspective, what he did was right. Because of what he did, his father disowned him. And his father is also in his own perspective thinking that what he did is right, and so my son should come to me and apologize. But one thing is certain, these two persons, they are hurt, and it's weighing on their hearts. But pride will not allow the son go to the father to apologize, and pride will also not allow the father summon his son so that they could communicate about it. You see, in any relationship, whether in marriage, whether in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, or whether in best friends or co-workers, communication is very, very important. See, when it comes to grudges, so in this case, let us use ourselves for example, because we are not far-fetched from what is happening in this scene. A lot of us have faced something similar to this. Even I faced it this month. So we've all experienced this, and for those of us that are yet to experience it, you could still experience them. So just take these pointers. So let's say, for example, someone offended us. So I'll just say me. Someone offended me, and in my own right, I'm like, this person should come and apologize to me. And in the same way, that person on his own, in his own place, is also feeling like, this thing that I did, is it what this guy having grudge with me? The person might be downplaying it, but one thing is certain, the two of us is going to be weighing, we being separate is going to be weighing on our hearts, whether we like it or not. So me in my own place, I'll be like, this person should come and apologize now. And that person too will be saying, I cannot apologize for this kind of small thing, you should just forgive me. But the truth is, it takes communication to solve that issue. right? It takes communication. The more we are apart, see, the easiest thing to do in situations like that is to allow the relationship fizzle out and crash and burn. That is the easiest thing to do. You know why? Because it's the easiest thing that suits the human nature. We all know that we are made up of spirit, soul, and body. It is easier for us to do things that our human nature desires, and the easiest thing to do when there is a grudge between two persons or two families is to allow the relationship fizzle away. The most difficult thing to do is to actually walk up to that person and tell the person, hey bro, this thing you did to me, I don't actually like it. The person might, if that person have sense, if that person is not prideful, he's going to say, oh, I didn't realize this thing will hurt you this much, I am very sorry. The person is going to apologize. But if the person don't get sense, the person is not going to apologize. Now in that moment, you know that yes, you've done your part. You actually reach out to that person to tell the person what he did. You know, it takes humility. It takes humility to actually communicate an issue with somebody. See that somebody offends you. It takes humility for you to go to that person and communicate what happened to you. And it also takes humility for you who offended somebody to approach that person and apologize for what happened. And the truth is, if we value our relationship with our friends or with our wife or with anybody, and we know that there is a grudge, there is a problem, if we value that relationship, we are going to take away pride and actually go and communicate with them in order to solve that issue. Because if we leave it there, that relationship, the marriage, whatever it is, it will crash and burn. Why? Just because of our pride. You see, most people think that pride is only when you are being pompous, you are showing off wealth and stuff like that. But pride comes in different forms, even in forms that you don't even realize. Now, if you come to the Christian living, our relationship with God has to do with God taking his time to peel off every layer of pride in us. That is why we go through some certain situations, so that we can grow from them. Now, even Jesus said it. He said, before you go and offer offering at the altar of the temple, and you remember that you have an issue with somebody, drop that offering and go and reconcile with that person. He didn't say, and you remember that somebody offended you, or he didn't say, and you remember that you offended somebody. He just said, you remember that you have an issue with somebody. So whether you are the offender or the offendee, you have to go and reconcile with that person. You know the reason why? You can't say that you love God and yet hate the person, your neighbor close to you. So for you to show God love, you have to show your neighbor love, and that means forgiving your neighbor. That means showing mercy to your friends. So whatever it is, many of us, I'm sure we've gone through things like this. I'm sure many of us allow the relationship to fizzle out and die and burn. I'm sure a lot of us are going through the same thing. So this is kind of like a recall that to admonish you that, look, no matter whether you are the offender or whether the person offended you, go and communicate the problem. Just go and have a word with that person, like mature people, like Christians. It doesn't show strength to be wearing pride. True strength comes from humility. Being humble is not weakness. Being humble shows that you have strength. So communicate with that person. Tell the person the issue. And if you offended somebody, apologize to the person. It do not take anything from you, from your soul. In fact, it will even add to your soul. Well, all we are doing here is to just show you the hidden frame.